Before getting into tools and recording methods, it's worth grounding on what we mean by a great demo. A great demo is focused on one outcome. It's easy to follow, it's easy to keep current over time. It applies whether your demo is for marketing, sales, onboarding, support, or internal training. No matter what kind of demo you're creating, there's a small set of decisions that happen before recording that actually have an outsized impact later. Planning matters just as much as recording. Before you start, get clear on what this demo is meant to do. Is it a high-level marketing overview? Is it a sales walkthrough, an onboarding flow, or something designed for a very specific audience or use case? Knowing this upfront affects everything that follows. It influences how long the demo should be, how focused it needs to stay, and how reusable it will be later on. As a general rule, short and focused demos consistently perform better. For marketing demos on a website, this usually means high-level overviews. So a good rule of thumb is around 8 to 12 steps, since engagement drops quickly beyond that. Sales demos can go a bit deeper, but the same principle applies. For customer success and support, it helps to think in terms of natural breakpoints. Similar to when writing paragraphs, when one idea is complete, that's a demo. Feature-specific demos work best in these instances, and closely related actions should live together. For example, adding steps, editing steps, deleting steps are tightly connected and usually belong in one cohesive demo, with branching handled at the beginning using chapters. Sandbox demos are the main exception. If you are on a growth or enterprise plan, creating sandbox demos that give viewers a realistic environment to explore, these require more upfront planning. Because viewers can click freely, there's more depth to consider. A strong approach is to record one section or module at a time, then add steps from within the demo as the experience evolves. How deep you go on a sandbox depends on your product, but a helpful way to think about it is to think about how many clicks or layers it takes to move through a typical workflow from start to finish. Once a demo is planned, consistency becomes critical. Recording in the same dimensions every time makes a big difference. Consistent dimensions make demos easier to edit, easier to extend, and easier to keep accurate over time. So if you're recording your entire screen rather than a single window, a few other setup choices will also save you some cleanup time later. For example, hiding bookmarks or hiding your bookmarks bar to keep the screen from feeling cluttered. Turn off notification to prevent any unexpected pop-ups, and keep your desktop clean and distraction-free to help viewers stay focused on the demo itself. Finally, if you are on a growth or enterprise plan and you have access to HTML recordings, that's almost always the recommended option. HTML recordings provide more precise capture and a stronger post-recording editing experience, which makes demos easier to maintain as your product changes. These best practices don't define the kind of demo you create. They simply make sure that whatever demo you build stays focused, easy to follow, and easy to keep current. So with the foundations in place, we can now look at the different ways to record Supademos, starting with the Chrome extension.